It's Sunday, May 17th, and here are today's top stories. Abu Dhabi authorities have responded to a fire incident near the Al Baraka nuclear plant in the Al Dhafra region following a reported drone strike. Officials say there were no injuries and no impact on radiological safety levels and will continue to monitor the situation closely. Meanwhile, in Sharjah, a draft law has regulated the use of drones across the emirate. The highest standards of safety and security will be ensured while protecting aviation and air navigation systems. And staying with Sharjah, the emirate has officially launched the Oman Logistics Corridor, with the first shipments now heading out. The new land-sea trade route is expected to speed up cargo movement and reduce transport costs. And finally, Dubai police are warning parents about viral videos promoting excessive energy drink consumption among children and teenagers. Authorities are urging families to closely monitor the content young people are watching online. That's all for now.
A dramatic reunion here for the families and these 4,500 sailors that have disembarked from the USS Gerald R. Ford after the longest deployment of an aircraft carrier strike group since the Vietnam War. This ship was out at sea for 11 months. This aircraft carrier took part in the mission to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Then they were deployed toward the Middle East and took part flying sorties for the Iran war.
Well, I do not want that to be a precedent. This is a once-in-a-lifetime, I think, confluence of events that necessitated the need for the Ford Strike Group in support of Epic Fury.
We spoke to family members, though, just about the really long length of this deployment and what it was like for them.
The most difficult part was definitely the single parenting. When he left, she was a baby, and now she's a big girl. So he's coming home to a little girl and like a kid. So all the transitions, like no more high chair, no more binky, no more baby bottle. I did all.
President Trump announced the U.S. military has killed the second highest ranking member of ISIS. The president says Abu Bilal al-Manuki was killed in a joint operation with Nigeria's military. The president calling al-Manuki, quote, the most active terrorist in the world. In 2023, the State Department described him as a leader of the Islamic State terror group. The Treasury Department had al-Manuki on a list of specially designated global terrorists, hitting him with steep sanctions.
Two giant pandas are soon heading to the U.S. from China, and they are adorable. Ping Ping and Fu Shuang. They're fluffy, they're funny, and for now, they're oblivious to all the excitement at Zoo Atlanta, where they'll eventually land to a new life together.
They're this way. We were invited to get a real-life look at Fu Shuang and Ping Ping, both 6 years old and U.S. bound. Panda fans will soon learn that Ping Ping is a very dedicated eater. Well, Fu Shuang, which means double happiness, is playful but nervous. It's part of a revival in panda diplomacy that started in 1972 and seen as an unofficial measure of U.S.-China relations. Fu Shuang and Ping Ping have never met, but will soon branch out together to a new address, global stardom, and snacks.
President Trump has also threatened to destroy Iran's civilian infrastructure and, quote, wipe out Iran's civilization if the Iranian government didn't make a deal. Do you think that kind of rhetoric is appropriate, even as a negotiating tactic?
No, it's not, because, again, it's part of sending the missed signal. Are you here to liberate us or further hurt us? What hurts our nation is its, of course, civilian infrastructure. What helps us is when you hit the regime and its infrastructure. I'm trying to separate the two from each other. And yes, nobody likes to see victims. But then again, the regime has been using people. Do you think the U.S. and Israel has done enough to separate those two? Well, that's what I'm trying to address. Look, when the regime adapts in tactics to use people as human shields, as they would hide many aspects of their anti-riot forces, or whatever you want to call it, in public areas, including schools and hospitals, a little bit a la what
Quaise is a startup with a very ambitious goal. They want to be able to drill down to 20 kilometers underground. At that depth, the temperature can reach up to 500 degrees Celsius, which is enough to destroy any kind of conventional drilling equipment. That's why they're using something called millimeter wave. And the idea behind it is that it's using a special kind of technology that comes from fusion energy to literally shoot at the rock and vaporize it, melting it into glass. In the simplest layman's terms possible, what is millimeter wave drilling?
Millimeter wave drilling is using microwave to do dielectric heating to get to very hot rock.
Conventional drilling uses a mechanical bit to pulverize rock, but at extreme depths, it gets harder to power the system and it breaks a lot. Quays uses
The World Health Organization has declared a global public health emergency after an Ebola outbreak in Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC.
Western countries, they don't understand that when Africa is affected, they are also at risk.
So how contagious is it and how worried should we be? Patient zero is believed to have been a nurse in the DRC who on the 24th of April presented with symptoms, fever, vomiting and bleeding.
C'est ce rapatriement de ce corps dans la zone de santé de Mongwalu, qui est une zone minière où il y a beaucoup de personnes, qui a fait flamber l'épidémie.
One big concern is that this outbreak could be particularly deadly because the Ebola strain is the Bundibugyo virus and there's no approved vaccine or drugs for it. It's the DRC's 17th outbreak since Ebola first emerged in the country in 1976. Ebola is highly contagious and spreads through bodily.
Here at Trump Industries, we've come up with a lot of products to separate our supporters from their money. Trump Bibles, Trump NFTs, Trump watches that are missing the letter T. And frankly, we're getting a little tired of coming up with ideas. That's why we're introducing our latest product, the Trump Give Me $100. Here's how it works. You give us $100. And that's it. Nice and simple. There's no product, no pre-orders, no supply chain problems. You want to see the supply chain? You take that $100 and it travels from your wallet to our wallet. It's simple, and best of all, it's fast. The second you send us $100, you will have sent us $100. Some common questions you may have. Can I deduct this from my taxes? No, there is nothing in this for you. You're giving us $100 and you're losing $100. Can I send $99? No, if we wanted $99, we would have called.
Car maker BYD's Zhengzhou factory is rewriting what modern manufacturing looks like. Running at 98% automation, around 1,500 robots produce a complete electric vehicle body in under 60 seconds. This is not a concept, this is live production, and it's working right now. A battery cell rolls off the line every 3 seconds as you watch this video. BYD's flash charging technology brings a vehicle to 97% in just 9 minutes, delivering close to 1,000 kilometers of range on a single charge. The company already has over 4,000 fast charging stations alive across China, with 20,000 planned by end of 2026. BYD first pitched its electric vehicle vision in 2004. 20 years later, they are the world's #1 EV manufacturer. The manufacturing gap is not closing, it is widening.
The death toll from a scuba diving trip in the Maldives has risen to 6. 5 Italian divers died while attempting to explore underwater caves in the Indian Ocean, 164 feet deep. Today, a diver trying to retrieve bodies died soon after as a result of that recovery mission.
Well, we're in Tehran, the bustling capital of the Islamic Republic. But Iranians are watching President Trump in China, one of their most implacable enemies, meeting a powerful friend. With the Iran war so high on the agenda in Beijing, state media here is almost gloating at the spectacle. One headline reads, "Trump visits China in the shadow of failure and stalemate." But the truth is, both the United States and Iran now seem to be looking to China for a way out of their deadlock. The ongoing closure of the Strait of Hormuz, the inability to agree a compromise on Iran's nuclear activities. Washington wants Beijing to pressure Tehran to accept its terms. But here, officials are calling on China, the Islamic Republic's most important trading partner, to mediate a favorable end